and weekend of results for Leeds United mean that we need to keep this home form, this incredible home form, to upset the away form. I'm going to speak about that. Also, going to speak about a cautionary tale when it comes to Leeds United and the Premier League when we do return. Please, before I get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments on thoughts on anything I've discussed in this video because it's going to be pretty packed. Thank you to John Abbott for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, John. John is also a member of the channel. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description. Now, before I get into this, as you can probably hear, I've been telling you that the house has been full of germs. They got me. They got me. But I'm here to give information and entertainment. So let's get into it. And this weekend's results couldn't have probably gone any worse for us. Well, it could have if we had lost the game. But Sheffield United got their routine win at home. No surprise there. Swansea were actually 2-0 up against Sunderland and blew it. So Sunderland come back and get a 3-2 win. And Burnley, who were 1-0 down, come back and win a game 2-1. And I was texting around, man, because after Fleming's goal, man, I mean, I don't know if you've seen Fleming's goal, absolutely smacked that like Akon. Ooh, top corner from distance. And I just said, man, like, why don't people, I just asked, why don't people shoot more like that? One player came back to me in particular, not on Leeds United's team, by the way, and said it's a low percentage shot. A low percentage shot. What happened to the game I love? You know what I mean? That's what we talk about now. It's working it in the spaces, getting that perfect shot off, to not mess up your numbers. That was only one player though, in terms of that. Other one just said, I don't know. But yeah, good goal from Burnley. But more importantly, they got an away win, which keeps them in touch with us. And this is the table as we sit here today. We are still in the top two, but that's what I'm talking about with this. Sheffield United are actually, even though the points deduction is there, they would actually be a couple more points ahead, if they could pay their bills. But we are still in this kind of race where Sunderland and even Blackburn, and shout out to Blackburn, by the way, I think they've reeled off something like 6 wins in a row, something like that. But they're in touch and we play them very soon. But this is the issue that I have. We shouldn't be in this position. We should be doing better. Now, listen, I'm not saying we should win every game. I know that's impossible, but we should be doing better away from home than we currently are, which should be making our point total better than it currently is. And this is, people, this is the away form. We are currently 8th. Okay, 8th. And this is all 10 of our away games we've played so far. And even when you look at our last win against Swansea, last minute winner, like euphoria, absolutely brilliant, but it's a struggle. And that's where I disagree with Daniel Farker saying that the approach at home is the same away. Couldn't disagree more. It's not. And yes, the Sunderland game, that was the Elan Melier game. But even so, for a team that is looking to lock in the top 2, this away form is not good enough. It's not. Now, I'm not saying we should be winning every game. I understand that, spooky results can happen from time to time, but there's a pattern here. There's a very distinct pattern. And when you look at Burnley, Sheffield United doing what they do, 1 and 2 in the table, we should be in there. We should be in the top 3 with those, but we're not. So we do need to ease the pressure off our home games because right now we're leaving no room for error at home. So if we ever drop points at home, then it's going to be like, oh, wow. So what's going to happen next? Because after Oxford, we've got 2 away games, I think. I think it is 2 away games. We're going to have to get the business done away from home at some point. And it can't just be what Daniel Farker keeps saying here. And what he said in this one was a good point on the road. Again, I couldn't disagree more. It's 2 points dropped. 2 points dropped, and everything should be better. The approach, the style, everything should be better. But listen, apart from one time with Daniel Farker where he admitted that Cody Drama shouldn't have been put in at left back, I've never really heard this man take accountability. So I don't expect him to say, I got some things wrong, we set up wrong, or anything else like that. And we're going to speak about that, about another manager in just a moment. But it just has to be better, people. It's as simple as that. And by the way, I just want to say for my growth, I've seen all the comments about Bamford's missed chance and everything else like that. Listen, when you don't expect nothing from a player, it's hard to get angry. And listen, as a content creator, it would probably do me some good to get angry or emotional when Bamford doesn't put away what is perceived as an easy chance. But I don't expect him to put an easy chance away. So I'm certainly not going to expect him to put a flick in. You know what I mean? So listen, it's a good place to be. As I've said before with Patrick Bamford now, he's got that Tyler Roberts stage for me where he's on the pitch. I don't expect Tyler Roberts to do anything. It's just like, why do these managers keep playing him? You know what I mean? The only time that Patrick Bamford ever comes into my equation is when I'm doing my transfer rating, and that's when I do it if the club haven't actively tried to move him, which is going to be interesting in January to see what happens there because apparently he is unhappy with his lack of playing time. So we shall see. But yeah, it's nice to be in this headspace. Not going to lie, it's definitely different from when we was in the Premier League and he missed that chance against Leicester. Definitely different from that. Um, but in terms of that as well, yeah, we've got our next game is against Oxford at home. They recently just sacked their manager. Don't expect that to do anything against us at Ellen Road. That should be a routine win, but we'll talk about that when we preview that game. Um, the cautionary tale bit coming up is this, and this is for the 49ers, but it's also for the fans as well. I watched this game yesterday. Tottenham absolutely destroyed Southampton. It was a first half domination where just basically every time Tottenham went forward, it looked like they were going to score. Russell Martin literally left as well 1 minute before the halftime whistle, and Tottenham added another. So he wasn't even there to see the fifth goal go in. It was all mad. It was all mad. But what I want to say is the 49ers and Leeds United, Daniel Farke, if he's still here, need to look at this and avoid this kind of scenario. They have to avoid it. And when I'm talking about things like this, I'm talking about this. This team that Southampton put out is a very good championship team. Tyler Dibbling, by the way, I think he's going to probably be on the move, whether it's in January or the summer. I can see him going to do bigger things. You can see he's got very, very high potential, very, very tidy with the ball. But the rest of this team is championship. And this is where I always try and say to people about the gap between the Premier League and Championship. It's just too big, and that's why when people say we should keep certain players, they're going to be fine in the Prem. I'm like, just hold on a minute, all right? Just park it a little. And you look at the Southampton team. This is a very good championship team. Flynn Downs, Adam Armstrong, who himself had a couple of chances to score. And again, in the Premier League, if you don't take him, you get punished. And he found that out yesterday. Ryan Manning, Bednarek is still there. How is he still there? The point I want to make is Leeds United need to be looking at this and making sure that we don't come under this kind of problem in terms of Southampton. We can't do this. You're supposed to, when you go up, ideally push some starters to the bench and bench players out the door. That's how it's got to be. It's ruthless, but you have to do it in order to give yourself a fighting chance. Also, as well, when it comes to style of play, Russell Martin has been sacked. He was stern to his principles. He didn't feel he needed to change them. Listen, the time he changed it yesterday was when they were 3-0 down, and then all of a sudden he takes off an attacker, puts in another centre back, and obviously the attacker's like, why me? And that's what you're going to get. It's just bad preparation for the Prem. Absolutely bad. Now, listen, Russell Martin could be doing what Vincent Company did and hoping that his style of play will translate and a better team will look at him and go, hey, we could use that. But when it comes to the actual Southampton team, it was a detriment, absolute detriment. Also, want to talk about how they spent their money, just very briefly. I've always said you can sprinkle a little bit of championship talent in your team, but you have to then go out and get the actual quality. Now, I'm not going to mention any names in this video. That will wait until the summer. But to buy players like they did, Ramsdale as a goalkeeper for 20 million. He didn't play yesterday, but no, absolutely no. Cameron Archer, these kind of players, Flynn Downs getting in permanently, Harwood Bellis to go with Ben Narek. These are signings that you make if you've got better things around them. They cannot be your main players. And that's what I want the Leeds United and the 49ers to be so aware of. I want them to be so aware of this to not go, you know what? I think we could do it in this league with these with the players that we've got now. No, you've got to go and get quality to go with any additions you make. And even I look at the championship talent pool. Maybe you guys have got a couple names, but the championship pool of talent is nowhere near what it used to be. And I would be worried if we got any players from the championship to take with us. If once we're promoted, who would you possibly get? You know what? Give me some names in the comments. I'm sure some of you have some. And the Southampton statement, one of the lines that was glaringly stuck out for me is in the last paragraph. We are witnessing firsthand the significant gap between the Championship and the Premier League. It's something that I just keep saying. And Southampton, obviously, they probably weren't expecting to go back up the first year, thanks to us. But it's one I've said, they've spent a lot of money, and it's not about, I've always said this, it's not about how much money you spend, it's how you spend it. And again, on Ramsdale himself, 20 million. Absolutely not. There's better goalkeepers that you can get for that money and less, much less. And I've got, like I say, I've got already got a couple of names, but it's about how you spend your money. And listen, with us being Leeds United, with us having the backing of the 49ers Enterprises, Red Bull, and everything else, I expect us to go into a deeper talent pool than, say, a Southampton or even an Ipswich Town. So that is what I hope they're looking at ahead of time. And also just for Daniel Farker, look, he's tried this before with Norwich where he didn't get all the signings he wanted, but he still tried to play that same way and got absolutely rinsed week after week. It's also a cautionary tale for him in order to make sure that you've got adjustments made in the Premier League where you're not going to be a dominant team on the ball, where you're not going to have chance after chance to get your goals. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 chances possibly per game. You've got to make those count. So it's going to be on him, if he's still here with us in the Premier League, to make sure that he adjusts for the change when it comes to the Premier League too. Just another one as well, just quickly, I've spoken about it before. Obviously, Gary O'Neill got sacked from Wolves. Just want to say this again. It looks like they're going for Vitor Pereira. But okay, I'm not on Wolves one day. I'm on Southampton. But yeah, listen, Wolves are going to get in Vitor Pereira, but they were considering a number of candidates, including WBA's Carlos Corberan, not for the first time. And then obviously Southampton, Russell Martin gone. There's no significant names being mentioned, but Danny Roll of Sheffield Wednesday is being linked, and obviously he has previous links while he was working with Hasenhüttl at Southampton and everything else like that. But again, just want to say again, perception is reality. Not one word of a genuine link for Daniel Farke to any of these jobs. So there you go. That just keeping on top of that, just reminding people that perception is reality, and it happens for a reason. Listen, people, that is the video. A lot of information that I've given in this one, and I'm going to go and lie down and sleep now, I think. Please like the video. Give me your thoughts and feelings on anything discussed below, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out.